Welcome back to Horoscope Forecasts 369, your trustworthy companion in the cosmic journey. I'm Jenny, here to help you unlock the mysteries of the stars. No matter your zodiac, our mission is to bring clarity to your celestial path. If it's your first visit, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us daily in unveiling what the stars align for us. So, buckle up, it's time to journey through the cosmic realm and decipher the messages of the universe today, Monday, June 26, 2023. The astrology of today, all signs. The moon continues its transit of Libra today, and the first quarter moon occurs at 3:51 AM Eastern Daylight Time when the Cancer sun forms a square with the Libra moon. We may become aware of obstacles related to a plan or project. This can be a time of stress, clashing, and discord, but also of high energy, motivation, and growth. We're competitive and ambitious, stirred into action. Energizing this theme is Mars forming a square to Uranus this morning, stimulating an urge to break free of restrictions. This influence can point to combative, rebellious, and unpredictable responses. It creates an atmosphere that tempts us to take risks or act on impulses without considering the consequences. We may be too quick to satisfy immediate desires or to rebel if we feel at all confined or restrained. We can be frustrated with anything requiring us to conform, and we're inclined to assert our independence abruptly. Inner tension begs for release now, but we should avoid sudden moves. Mercury's quincunx to Pluto this afternoon just before Mercury changes signs suggests our perceptions are off. It may be better not to make final judgments. Certainly, decision-making can be fraught. It's difficult to digest or accept a matter. We might also trigger negative responses from others. Mercury moves into the sign of Cancer, where it will transit until July 11th. During this cycle, we think, speak, and take in information on a deep, intuitive level. Our emotions color our thoughts more than usual, we communicate with more sensitivity, meaning, and care, and our memory is retentive. It's a time to absorb information about the emotional background, atmosphere, and setting. We're picking up on moods and tones in addition to facts. The day can be complicated and frustrating in spots, but also pivotal. Today's Aries horoscope. The need to break out of a rut can become evident through the day's events, dear Aries, although it's better if you do this mindfully. Today's Mars-Uranus square can aggravate any uncertainties or frustrations you may be having with income, business, or a money situation. For best results, explore your feelings and decide what needs changing, aiming to put these into action on a less emotionally chaotic day. Be ready to take steps to improve a situation rather than jump to react. It may be better to avoid risk-taking with your money or making quick decisions in love. You are not in the mood to feel tied down today, but watch for hastiness if you are freeing yourself of something tying you back. Take this opportunity to see your practical matters from a new perspective, which may lead you to new opportunities. Today's Taurus horoscope. Uranus, currently transiting your sign, forms a square to Mars today, dear Taurus, and your more impulsive or rebellious traits can surface. Something on the domestic front might work you up or displace you today. Energy is up and down, but when up, you can harness it to do something wonderfully creative or productive. You need a change of pace. This is true in general with Uranus in your sign, but now with Mars involved, you could be tempted to jump in or out of something too quickly. Aim to be in charge of these changes instead of resisting and allowing change to happen to you. If you're going to rock the boat today, aim to know precisely what you want and what you value, since quick reactions may get you into hot water. Fortunately, you can turn this into an opportunity for renewal, and you might choose to seek it by doing something unusual or different. Today's Gemini horoscope. Today's Mars-Uranus square can tempt you to take shortcuts, dear Gemini, but instead of saving time, they're more likely to cost you some. Take a breath, and don't let impatience rule. Center yourself and examine unresolved issues that have made you angry, as these may be at the heart of stressed or impatient behavior today. Part of you may be striving to break free from the old you or an outdated identity, which can lead to rebellious behavior or acting out. Speaking prematurely on a matter or blurting out something can be an example. If you can manage to center yourself, however, you're in great shape to resolve a problem. Aim to make the most of a situation and be willing to take steps to improve your life. If the urge to jump into or out of something comes on suddenly, consider whether approaching it with some strategy may be better. Today's Cancer horoscope. Transits tend to rile you up today, dear Cancer, temporarily impairing decision-making and stirring restlessness. Impatience can lead to impulsiveness today, especially with money, but it can also get you worked up about a difference in values with someone. There's a tendency to fly off the handle if you don't feel respected. Holding on too tightly to your things and ideas can be about a fear of changes in your social life. Centering yourself can help, although it can be challenging to accomplish temporarily. The part of you that needs some emotional detachment and distance can emerge now, possibly in disruptive ways, if you're not entirely aware of the reason for rebellious feelings. You want some predictability in your life, but you don't want to stagnate. Aim to avoid making too quick decisions today. Instead, examine what's making you uncomfortable. Today's Leo horoscope. Tension can run high today, dear Leo, and you may be in reaction mode, especially if someone is trying to tell you what to do. With a Mars-Uranus square in play, aim to keep your head rather than act impulsively. The need to change is evident, but you may need to figure out exactly where to start. With Mars in your sign these days, you're more often asserting your independence, but today, you could be pushing the wrong buttons. The desire to liberate yourself from a past way of life, an old job, a typecast role, a public image, or a particular reputation can be powerful, but rushing into a change may not be your best bet. Your independence could get you some negative attention today, in other words. However, if you can manage to center yourself, you can take affirmative action to improve or heal a problem area. Ideally, you're acting from your heart rather than reacting. Today's Virgo horoscope. Today's transits can leave you feeling a little tense, dear Virgo, and can get you all fired up over a past or buried issue. Outlets for expressing your frustration may appear limited. This transit may seem to force a point in an area where you may have been resisting change. Or, the need to free yourself from the confines of a project or plan can be prominent now. Differences of opinion can seem like blocks, but if you find ways to work through frustration before making a stand, you'll be in a better position. Aim to get to the heart of your impatience today for the best results. Watch for premature or impulsive actions, and aim for self-understanding. Your need for change is real, but you'd be wise to make changes mindfully. If you can manage to center yourself, you'll be in an excellent position to understand a private, personal, or past matter, and you may have the opportunity to release a burden. Today's Libra horoscope. Today's transits can shake things up, particularly in your interactions, dear Libra. Matters of give and take can be in focus, and tensions can rise. As excited as you may be about a creative project or exploring a romance or personal interest these days, you need a break from pushing too hard, and circumstances occurring now may force the issue. If you've been caged in, even if it's of your own making, you'll feel it strongly now, and change becomes necessary. Resisting change can lead to more complicated problems, and so can rebellious actions, so be sure to reflect and make logical decisions. There can be abruptness to the day's energies, and you may need to put something behind you. But it may be best to avoid quick reactions. Aim to be determined to focus on improvement and moving on. Today's Scorpio horoscope. Decisions revolving around ownership, money, or knowledge can be challenging today, dear Scorpio. Unresolved tension may build or get to a boiling point, and it may be best to discover a creative or physical outlet for releasing it. However, you can be intolerant of personal restrictions or someone in your life that is draining you of energy. Your ambitions are strong these days, but unreliability or relationship problems can distract you from going after what you want today. The root of any conflicts experienced now is likely to be about equality, but even so, it's hard to put your finger on the source of tension. If you can center yourself, there is a good chance you can work towards healing or improving and growing. Today's Sagittarius horoscope. Watch for the tendency to bring worries about your practical affairs into interactions with others today, dear Sagittarius, and try to separate the two. The temptation to break out of monotony or other lifeless aspects of a job is also intense. Your working life can bring some surprises, and you'll need a little time to adjust to the changes in your routine. There can be a lot to do, but patience is difficult with Mars and Uranus forming a square aspect. It can be tempting to take shortcuts that could end up costing you later. Seek to identify what needs to change and proactively start making improvements gently. If you can center yourself, you may find the right path to help you resolve problems and move forward. You're moving towards a freer, more authentic working or daily life, and today's events can force the issue. Today's Capricorn horoscope. There can be some misleading talk or false leads to navigate today, dear Capricorn. Emotional restlessness can tempt you to take unnecessary risks with money or people. Haste makes waste today, so aim to take it easy. Mars may be pushing you to dig deep and seek out hidden truths or a stronger connection to someone or something these days, but its square to Uranus today can stir up all sorts of frustrations. A craving for more emotional space or freedom in your life can be at odds with all this. Instead, if others are giving you space, this throws you for a loop. Centering yourself can bring rewards. In fact, you might make sense of a tricky situation, allowing you to move on. Listen to your heart rather than to others who may not be expressing themselves very well or acting from the heart. Today's Aquarius horoscope. Decision-making can be choppy today, dear Aquarius. Restless energy is with you, and you can experience a strong desire to break free from restrictive circumstances. It may be best to give yourself and others the space they need so that moods settle. If you can manage to center yourself, you'll enjoy opportunities to resolve a relationship matter that may have been causing you some recent stress. Releasing pent-up worries or frustrations can be satisfying, and the more constructive the channel you can find, the better. However, you're likely to deal with disruptions and distractions in the process. Impatience is unlikely to help your decisions, and it makes sense to recognize sudden urges that could lead to impulsiveness. Crankiness today, whether it's yours or someone else's, is likely due to a need to break out of current labels. You need to grow and change, and recognizing this puts you in an advantageous position. Do your best not to take things too personally if interactions are awkward. Instead, aim to focus on productive pursuits. Today's Pisces horoscope. It's better not to read too much into problem areas now unless they stick, dear Pisces, and give things and people time. A Mars-Uranus square might seem to encourage hasty moves and the taking of shortcuts, particularly when it comes to work, paperwork, communications, and transportation. However, impatient speech and actions can be regrettable now if they're not coming from the heart. Underneath it all, you may only be trying to break free from a label or restrictive situation, and if so, try to do this mindfully. Do what you can to work independently today, as you can quickly become frustrated with someone's pace or mistakes. Despite a tendency to jump too quickly to conclusions or actions, if you can center yourself, you can find some workable solutions to problems related to work, health, routines, and daily affairs. Alternatively, you might make adjustments and take steps to improve your situation. Thank you for joining me here on Horoscope Forecasts 369. Don't forget to share these horoscope predictions with friends and loved ones who might benefit from them, and remember to hit the like button if you found today's predictions useful. I'm Jenny, and I'll be back tomorrow with more. Until then, keep your eyes on the stars and your heart open to the universe. Goodbye for now.